The question that we've been asked is, let's say I have a disbursement, I have invoiced it, right? And I want to actually not delete this invoice, but for some reason I have to reverse this. What are some of the steps I need to do? I'm going to do two disbursements and they're very different, and I'll tell you why. So let me first do a disbursement which is a general disbursement. Like for example, let's say this is an application fee for $100. I'll exempt tax for now so that it's easy on me. $100, and I put like, hey, yeah, this is from my general account, and I hit the save button. I'll also put another fee which is not a general disbursement but more like a billable. Like let's say I do like a billable, and this one is a so in the billable you don't put anything in the bottom, right? So basically you just say, hey, this is a an assignment fee similarly for $100, and I'm going to make it tax exempt, right? This is what goes to the client, and the same thing goes for the bank as well, because you don't fill any information here, right? And you hit the save button. Okay, so as you see here, one is a miscellaneous expense for $100, the other is a billable, right? Now if I generate an invoice, right, let me just say I want to complete, let me just do a disbursement only invoice, so that way it's easy. I'll skip the preview, invoice that, and now if I hit the download button, what happens is these two disbursements are now locked. What it means is I cannot edit the disbursement anymore. Now I could delete the invoice. We have a separate video for deleting the invoice, which is here in the bottom. But let's say I decide to reverse it. What are some of the stuff I need to do? Now, if I go into my general bank, which I'm going to do in a second here, I think I put them into the Royal Bank, I believe. Let me go into my chart of accounts, asset, bank. I think this is, yeah, that's what, the TD Trust. This is where I've done the $200 are here. Okay. Now, if I go ahead and reverse the two entries, and I'm going to do that. So let me first become admin, and then if I go into the matter, and now if I go and action reverse the invoice, right, it'll pop up and tell me there are these two disbursements to reverse. So I go ahead and reverse this one, and I say, hey, this one is reversed, and then I reverse the application fee as well, right? When I reverse these two entries, what you will notice is now the disbursements have been now reversed, right? Clearly now, both of them, I should have marked them as non-taxable, but that's okay. Like I can actually edit them and say, hey, this is $100, no tax. Let me do that. So it's fair and square. My apologies, I didn't check that. And similarly, I'll do it for the other one as well. So let's say now what I've successfully done is I'll reverse the two invoices. However, if I go and check in the bank, you will be seeing that the two entries exist still, and the reason is because I only reversed the invoice. I haven't reversed the payment. Reversal of a payment is what we call a credit memo. So if I now go into the accounts, you see the $200 still exist, but if I go into my accounts receivable, you will see that my invoice is now negated. So what was supposed to go to the client is now completely negated. That part is very clear. So that's why when I go into the matter and I go into my general account, now you will see that 200 that you raised as an invoice has been reversed. That's what reversal does. What reversal does is it reverses your balance from your client, but your payments are still there. Now, if you had entered it as a miscellaneous expense, it's very simple. You can go here and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to unlock the top. I have reversed it. The bottom, you can actually get rid of it. You can write here in the miscellaneous. That's why we encourage you always to do miscellaneous expense and not do billables. However, if it's billable, it's the same entry that goes to both, right? It kind of like sparks itself. See, there is nothing to edit here. So if I now go back to my bank, which I'll do in a second here, you will now see that oops, sorry. You will now see that the $100 application fee is gone because I deleted the bottom, but the assignment fee is still there. This is where I need to put something called a credit memo for the matter. So the matter here belongs to Amy Jackson, fence issue. So what I do is go to accounts and click on action, right? And then I go to payments, and now I put a client expense credit memo. And now I have to choose Amy Jackson. So let me do that. So I'll in the search button, I can always choose which client I'm dealing with. Amy Jackson, and then immediately it'll bring me the matter. Then I'll say take an action, and I can say application fee, right, credit memo. Now I can put my $100, right? Obviously my taxes are 0, right? And obviously I should put the same date as when my application fee was, and then obviously I have to choose the same bank account. And if I hit the save, now you will see the reverse entry, right? This and that. So that is the problem. So when you basically create a billable, that's the only time we have to deal this with a credit memo. Now this is a complicated accounting entry. If you have any questions, please reach support. But as I explained, if you use miscellaneous, the bottom portion, you can just clear it off and it'll go away from your bank, so you can reconcile your general in seconds, because this is a mistake that you did. However, if this is like a billable, as I demonstrated here, you need to put a credit memo. Again, you have to click on action, payments, and then you have to choose this client credit memo, and then you have to choose Amy Jackson and then the matter and put that. Okay, that's how you go about doing the whole thing. So I hope this video clarifies. In the future, we strongly recommend under disbursements use the first one and not the actual, because it's actuals means both are the same thing. So it's really difficult for us to separate the two ledgers. Okay, but if you use pay by disbursements, miscellaneous expense, third party, you can always edit the top and the bottom independently. So to summarize, whenever you're stuck with an entry like this, which is a fee or something like that, which never happened in the bank, and you put it by mistake, and you cannot unlock or delete the disbursement and get rid of it, you have to put a credit memo, and that is under action, payment, and because it's a matter, you use the client expense credit memo.